Welcome to DEMOCREPUBLIX, where we cover the real news that matter to we the people. The British roots of the deep state, how the Round Table infiltrated America. With nearly weekly revelations that the British Foreign Office, MI6, and GCHQ have been behind the long-standing agenda to undermine the presidency of Donald Trump and undo the peaceful alliance between nationalist leaders in America, Russia, China, and elsewhere, a new focus on the British hand in undermining the United States has become a serious thought for many citizens. In the first week of the new year, fuel was added to this fire when internal memos were leaked from the British-run Integrity Initiative featuring a startling account of the techniques deployed by the anti-Russian British operation to infiltrate American intelligence institutions, think tanks, and the media. For those who may not know, the Integrity Initiative is an anti-Russian propaganda outfit funded to the tune of $140 million by the British Foreign Office. Throughout 2019, leaks have been released featuring documents that dated to early period of Trump's election, demonstrating that this organization, already active across Europe, promoting anti-Russian PR and smearing nationalist leaders such as Jeremy Corbyn, was intent on spreading deeply into the State Department and setting up clusters of anti-Trump operations. The documents reveal high-level meetings that Integrity Initiative Director Chris Donnelly had with former Trump advisor Sebastian Gorka, McCain Foundation Director Kirk Volker, Pentagon PR guru John Rendon, among many others. The exposure of the British hand behind the scenes afford us a unique glimpse into the real historical forces undermining America's true constitutional tradition throughout the 20th century. As Moeller, the Five Eyes Integrity Initiatives is not a new phenomenon, but actually follow a modus operandi set down for already more than a century. One of the biggest obstacles to seeing this modus operandi run by the British Empire is located in the belief and methodology which has become embedded in the global psyche for over a half a century, and which we should do our best to free ourselves of. Debunking the myth of the American Empire. While there has been a long-standing narrative promoted over 70 years that the British Empire disappeared after World War II, having been replaced by the American Empire, it is the furthest thing from the truth. America, as constitutionally represented by its greatest presidents, who can unfortunately be identified by their early deaths while serving in office, were never colonialists and were always in favor of reigning in the British institutions at home while fighting British colonial thinking abroad. Franklin Roosevelt's 13-year-long battle with the deep state, which he referred to as the economic royalists who should have left America in 1776, was defined in clear terms by a patriotic Vice President Henry Wallace, who warned that the emergence of a new Anglo-American fascism in 1944, when he said, "Fascism in the post-war inevitability will push steadily for Anglo-Saxon imperialism and eventually for war with Russia." Already American fascists are talking and writing about this conflict and using it as an excuse for their internal hatred and intolerances towards certain races, creeds, and classes. Wow, this is in 1944. They're talking about the deep state back then. Back to the article. The fact is that already in 1944, a policy of Anglo-Saxon imperialism has been promoted subversively by British-run think tanks known as the Round Table Movement and the Fabian Society, and the seeds that has already been laid for the anti-Russian Cold War by those British-run American fascists. It's not a coincidence that the fascist Cold War policy was announced on March 5, 1946 speech in Fulton, Missouri by none other than the Round Table follower Winston Churchill. The Empire Strikes Back. When the Round Table movement was created with funds from the Rhodes Trust in 1902, a new plan was laid out to create a new technocratic elite to manage the reemergence of the new British Empire and crush the emergence of American-inspired nationalism globally. This organization would be staffed by generations of Rhodes Scholars who would receive their indoctrination in Oxford before being sent back to advance a post-nation-state agenda in their respective countries. As this agenda largely followed the mandate set out by Cecil Rhodes in his seventh will, who said, why should we not form a secret society with but one object? The furtherance of the British Empire and the bringing of a whole new uncivilized world under British rule, for the recovery of the United States, and for the making of the Anglo-Saxon race but one empire. With the help of Anglophile racist presidents in America, leading figures organizing these think tanks, first advanced a program to create a League of Nations as a solution to the nationalist problem, which humanity was told caused World War I. Nationalist forces in America rejected the idea that the Constitution should be rendered obsolete, and the plan for global governance failed. However, that did not stop the Round Table movement from trying again. Leading the Round Table controlled Lord Lothian, British ambassador to the USA, complained of the American problem in 1918. There's fundamentally different concept in regard to the question between Great Britain and the United States as to necessity of civilized control over politically backwards people. The inhabitants of Africa and part of Asia have proved unable to govern themselves, yet America not only has no conception of the aspect of the problem, but has been led to believe that the assumption of this kind of responsibility is insidious imperialism. I'm going to stop right here. So they basically saying that we're too dumb to govern ourselves. We need Great Britain to govern us. Nationalism is terrible, evil. That's why it's a bad connotation. That's why they put this bad connotation on nationalism, because they don't want people to be proud of their country. They don't want people to govern themselves. They don't believe in self-government. They believe in like a one. That's when the one world, new world order come in. That's basically what the deep state is a tentacle of the new world order, the one world order that Great Britain is running basically to try to control the world, and it's been going on since the British occupation, and since 1776. America been trying to push out this globalist state and global control, and like the article said, they basically believe we're too dumb to govern ourselves, and that's why they hate Trump so much, and this is why they come and attack Trump so much and calling him a nationalist, which he is. I don't think there's anything wrong with people loving their country and wanting the best for their country, and that's why the deep state it don't seem like that's why they never have American interests. They never care about American interests, and they always attacking America because they're globalists, and that's what the whole thing is about, is to take down of America. So it's a lot more to this article. We want to continue to read more. I'll leave it in the description, the link to this article, so y'all can take a look at it for yourselves. But let me know what you think. Do you think the deep state is a part of the actually a part of the Great Britain plan to take over the world, or what? Let me know what you think. Leave your comments below. Like, share, and subscribe, and check out DEMOCREPUBLIX.com for the latest in news. Till next time.
We living on a real nightmare. We living on a real nightmare.